Hi, everyone. My name is Nick.
My name is Erica.
My name is Rachel.
Hi, my name's Claudia.
Hi, I'm Sierra, and this is Coil assignment number 1.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 6 concepts related to occupational justice and how those 6 concepts are related to the documentary. So for inclusion, Santoria has an LGBTI policy of inclusion and has freedom of expression. For exclusion, though, they were excluded from their Embera indigenous communities because of their homosexuality and transgenderism, that they viewed that as crimes. For vulnerability and empowerment, first we have vulnerability, and that's loss of family members, friends, and social support due to transgenderism. The women would face discrimination and poverty. They would struggle to find a job. They were also taken advantage of by the coffee plantation owners and the administrators, and they would also work in precarious conditions and lack education. For empowerment, they were in a close-knit community of trans women in Santeria. They started a legal process to obtain their Colombian ID documents, and they also were attempting to have government officials recognize them as a separate partiality. And then for equity and equality, for equity, they had unequal access to healthcare due to not having documents. And they also, and then for equality, though, they did not have the same access to opportunities compared to individuals who were not trans or homosexuals.
So these people experience unequal access and opportunities for jobs, limited access to safe working environments, unequal access to fair wages, and don't have access to go back and obtain official documents such as their birth certificate, which they need to apply for national ID, therefore making it difficult to find a job and enroll in education. As for human dignity, they are accepted in the Santuario community and treated well and with respect. However, they are taken advantage of by coffee plantations and not paid full wage or the amount that they are told because they are being taken advantage of due to their vulnerability. As for rights, they lack basic human rights due to their transgenderism and homosexuality in the communities that are not accepting of them. For example, their right to medical treatment has been taken from them because they don't have a national ID. They face occupational injustice as they are unable to achieve community integration and participate in meaningful occupations since transgenderism and homosexuality are seen as a crime in the Embera community, which is why they flee to Santuario, allowing them for more access to occupational justice. So next, Sierra will talk about how this situation in the documentary has made her feel.
So we sympathize with the women of Santorio because they cannot truly be themselves. In order to express themselves the way they feel comfortable, they have to flee their native communities or be sentenced to death. This is very sad to us. In the US, there's still discrimination against the LGBTQ community, but they are not exiled. Discrimination is more on an individual level. Discrimination on the job based on sexual preference is illegal, but it still happens. And that's something that we deal with and is very sad to us as well. This community is slowly gaining rights in the US, but there is still more progress to be made. And we hope the same goes for women of Santorio. So now Claudia will talk about her experiences with this problem.
Thank you, Sierra. So I've actually experienced this in my personal life because I have 2 friends that are transgender. My one friend who I met her as Amanda is now Ezra. And she found this as an opening experience because she was able to start on a clean slate. I met her in high school and then she transferred schools and then became Ezra. And no one could tell that he was transgender. So he never really struggled with finding a job or having unfair pay or not being accepted by his friends and family, like sadly the people in Rosario did. He felt as if he hadn't lost any of human rights, but he did struggle when it came to relationships because many people were not open to being in a relationship with someone who was transgender. So this was the first time that he felt excluded of his identity, and Ezra was afraid of being vulnerable and sharing his identity with future partners. This took a huge toll on him because he started to feel isolated and was worried about the future if they would actually ever find anybody. And I had another friend who I met her as Paige, and she transitioned in her college career as well. And she's now Sean. And he began his journey. He came out as lesbian, and she came out as a lesbian, had a girlfriend, and then transitioned from female to male. And during her transition, it was he had a very good support system because he had an LGBTQ support group on campus. His friends were very supportive. His girlfriend was very supportive. However, his family began to neglect him because of the decision. And it was very hard for him to, choose family over what was true to himself. But he ended up sticking with his decision, and he doesn't regret anything. And he actually currently works as a social worker and a counselor for children from DIFAS. So once again, he didn't have that struggle of finding a job or equal pay because of identity. The only thing that both of my friends did struggle with was just the financial process of transitioning from female to male. But other than that, Sean and Ezra are very lucky to be living in New Jersey, where they don't have to run away from their society in order to be safe. So now Rachel will speak about how we will approach this situation as OTs in the future.
So as OTs, we will have to approach this situation in the future with an open mind, empathy, and compassion in order to provide the highest level of client care possible. We must ensure that our clients are experiencing equal opportunities to engage in necessary and meaningful occupations in order to live a happy and fulfilling life. If they are not, then it is our duty to empower them by promoting self-advocacy and increasing their occupational performance. We must treat our clients with dignity and learn more about their personal values and beliefs to provide true client-centered care. Most importantly, it is vital to develop a trusting rapport so that we can understand their lived experience, identify their needs, and help them to improve their occupational engagement and overall quality of life. So that concludes our video for our COIL assignment number 1, and we are looking forward to your feedback on our video and as well as watching your videos regarding the documentary. Thank you.